Hello people, welcome to a new video. This one is about Latvian residency by small investment. Um, as you might know that I am aspiring immigrant a bit late in my age, so I'm often looking for options which are affordable and sustainable. So for Latvia, I discovered this option thanks to YouTube, but then I spoke with a bunch of consultants based in Latvia, in Middle East, and two in Europe. And what I realized that the consultants, except for two, they were giving, like most of the consultants were giving very superficial information, except for two, who confirmed my findings. And then there's lots of misinformation on YouTube by content creators, the dwellers of likes and subscribe. I realized that these people only care for views. They don't care for the information's quality. So that's one other reason I want to talk about this, my findings, in this video. And then the third reason is that once we are of age, we become desperate in immigration. So in desperation, we overlook information, we fail to ask the right questions, and those things haunt us many years down the line. So that's the reason of this video. To begin with, what are the selling points of this program? Number one, you will be told that this is the cheapest immigration program in Europe. All you need is a small investment of 60,000 euros, of which 50,000 will go to a business, and then 10,000 will go to the government as a donation. In return, you will get a 5-year residency in Latvia, which will give you visa-free access to Schengen area, and you can also bring in your spouse and kids who are under 18 years of age. So on the face value, it looks very good. But then if you go into details, there you find a few issues. So just to begin with, clutter-free, yes, and it is the cheapest program, no doubt about that. If you look at the Malta or Ireland or elsewhere, you will find the requirements very, very, very heavy, a million euros at least. And then it does give you visa-free access. Now this point is with some ifs and buts, but let's assume it correct. Then also you can bring your kids and wife. That's also true, but with some buts and ifs. Now mainly I will be talking about whether this investment is 60 or not, and then also the myth of 5-year residency. So to begin with residency, actually, first of all, it is not a permanent residency. It is not a PR. It is a temporary residency, often called temporary residency permit or TRP. And although it is 5 years, but you need to renew it annually. And the annual renewal is dependent on several conditions, mainly the payment of taxes. So let's say you have a 5-year temporary residency and you are in the 3rd year of residency, and suddenly you fail to meet one of the conditions. So the result would be the cancellation of your TRP, which means you'll have to leave Latvia. All right. So that's why it is a yes and no thing. Now the investment. So first of all, you cannot just walk in and open a new business with 50,000 euros. It's not allowed. You are supposed to invest in a running business which meets the criteria, and the criteria is that the revenue of that business must be less than 10 million euros. The number of employees has to be less than 50, and the shareholders must be less than 10. So that's the first step criteria. The second step criteria is that that particular business should pay at least 40,000 euros in taxes. Now in taxation, we know that you are supposed to pay the tax percentage on the taxable income, right? Or we can say net profit in accounting, roughly speaking. Don't quote me on that. So if you have a tax amount of 40,000 euros and the effective tax rate of 25%, means that you need to have a taxable income of 1.6 million euros. So actually I wrote revenue, which is wrong, is taxable income or net income, roughly. So then you work back, right? You have corporate salaries, cost of goods sold, and whatnot. So you can build imaginary income statement, assume 10%, 20%, or 15% margin, and then you build. So you can guesstimate the top line or the sales. So then you have to compare with this one, revenue here, right? So that's one important point, because if the moment the business fails to pay a total tax of 40,000 euros in a year, you will not get annual renewal, and you will have to leave Latvia. So because this is a non-compliance, so that's one of the major setback. But if you are still not convinced, this is actually something you can find via consultants or Google. But this is what I found when I spoke with the people on the ground, because I was absolutely serious about this program. So what I found is that these businessmen or small businessmen, they are already established in Latvia. They will give you shares of category B. So in simple words, category B shares means that you do not have any right or say in the business decisions. You cannot participate in the operations. So basically, you just give your money and act like a silent partner. But it is worse than that. Even the silent partner gets some share in the profit. So you will not get any profits or any dividends. So just for understanding purpose, when you are going to invest money somewhere, let's say in a bank deposit, you will get an interest payment. If you are going to invest with your partners, friends, you will get a share of profit. But in this case, category B shares will not give you any right to participate in the business, to decide or ask questions, take an active part in the operations, and then the worst, you will not get any dividends or profits at all. So based on that, I think this is better called a donation. You find a bunch of dudes and give them your money, 60,000 euros, and that's it. And you walk away with a TRP that can be revoked as soon as these idiots here fail to pay the taxes. So, but unfortunately, when you go to Latvian official documentation and translate, you will find the word investment, and that's what exactly the consultants are telling you. But now you can decide yourself, is it an investment or donation based on these facts? Okay, so that's the thing with this investment. Now, this is visa-free access is one other selling point, but then the thing is, you cannot use Latvia as a gateway to, let's say, to go to Germany. You can go to Germany, you will not need a visa because you have Latvian residency, but you cannot live there more than 180. You cannot become a resident or a migrant in Germany. And you can live there for like 4 months or 5 months, but then you're not allowed to work. You do not have a right to work in Germany because of Latvian residency. And if you want to do that, you will have to apply for the work permit. And in case you are a non-EEA citizen or a citizen of third country like India or Pakistan, then it's a process you have to follow. Which is not straightforward, by the way. So that's why it's a yes and no thing. Also, when let's say you have kids and they are like 15 years of age, you start the process. Say it takes 6 months maybe or so. You move into Latvia. Your kids are like 16 or 17 years of age, but by the time, as soon as they turn 18, they cannot renew their residency based on your sponsorship because they are 18. They are majority. They are like majors. They are not minors anymore. So either they have to leave Latvia, or they will have to become a student, get admission in a university, and become on a student visa, or they find a job to have residency by work permit. So you just guess what's going on behind the curtain. All right. And then lastly, before I wrap up, let's talk about the costs. So first of all, there is an upfront cost or like investment or donation of 60,000 euros, which we discuss in detail. You can decide investment or donation. I call it donation. Then after every 5 years, to renew your TRP, you will have to pay 5,000 euros to the government. And since we don't know Latvian, we don't know how to read or write, you will definitely have to hire a consultant or agent who will likely charge you 1,500 euros additional. So that is 6,500 every 5 years. But then, since you are required to renew every year, you will incur a cost of around 200 euros per person. So let's say you have a spouse and 2 kids, you will pay like 600 euros per year, which is in addition to the health insurance, groceries, utilities, rent, and whatnot. So you have to factor this into consideration. Then also, indirectly, in terms of costing, it's a TRP. It's not a PR, and since it is not a PR, it means there is no pathway to citizenship. So as long as you continue to meet the conditions, you can stay in Latvia, and the moment you fail to meet any condition, you have to leave the country. And which is the main problem, in my opinion, is the taxes. Because you can't control the business, nobody is listening to you in the business, and those guys suddenly can't pay their taxes, then who is going to suffer? You, right? And then now somebody can argue that no, I will use TRP as an entry point, then I will stay there for like 2 or 3 years, then I will try to convert into PR so I can get citizenship. Fine, you can try, but basically you have to live at least 6 months, to what I have found. So living in Latvia on TRP for 6 months means you become a tax resident. So typically it is 183 days. So the moment you become a tax resident, Latvia government will charge personal income tax based on your global income. So imagine you have a good job in Dubai, or you have a good business in India or Pakistan. Why in the heck you would pay personal income tax on your global income just because you want to support your TRP to convert into PR? I mean, the cost doesn't justify, in my opinion. So at least in my case, in my scenario, it's not worth it. I have a very good job in Saudi Arabia, and I would be one of the biggest fools to commit this mistake. But again, it depends, everybody has a different situation, so it might suit somebody, but in my case, no, it doesn't suit me. So now you know all the facts. You can decide for yourself. Before I sign off, there's one more thing going on internet, is that many consultants are like approaching you that they can help you to get Slovenian citizenship within 18 months. All you need to do is to pay a fee of 30 to 50,000 euros. You have to live 1 year in Slovenia, and then they will arrange everything else. So if you're not European, or if you do not have European roots, do not go for it. It's either a scam. The program is genuine, by the way. So it's a scam in a sense that those are like fake agents and run away with your money. So it's either a scam, or at best is forgery, because you will have to forge your family tree to European roots. So imagine you're changing your grandfather just to claim citizenship. At least my cognitive dissonance would not allow me to do that. So anyways, I will do maybe a video, because I have some good number of findings on this as well, but that's for a separate video. For now, I hope this video helps you in making an informed decision for Latvian residency by small investments. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Bye.